Rasulun, 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 Rasul. Nabiyun, 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 Nabi.
And when I went at the age of 21, 22 to Pakistan and became the student of Maulana Fadlur Rahman Ansari, I remember it was October 1964. And we sat down for the first class with the Maulana. I think we may have been about a dozen students from about 6 different countries. And Maulana is teaching us the first class delivered in Alimia Institute of Islamic Studies. What is the lesson that he taught us? That lesson is before my eyes today as plain as the rain. He said, and of course it shocked me. It took some time for me to accept it. He said, when you know that it is the word of Allah, then whether you understand it or you don't, whether you're comfortable with it or you are not, when you know it is the word of Allah, submit to it. Understanding could come afterwards. You could come comfortable with it afterwards. But once you know it is the word of Allah, submit to it. If you don't submit, you're not a Muslim. Today, 999 out of every 1,000 women says, no, I can't accept that. Not my husband. Me am prepared to share my husband with no other woman. No, no, no. It might be in the Quran, but I the Quran. I do not accept it. That is a state of brainwashing. Of course, this lecture is going to make me unpopular, but my duty is to try to please my Lord, not please the people. Someone has to speak it out. And I'm doing it tonight. This brainwashing of our Muslim women, where has it come from? It has come from that Christian Jewish world, the white world that is ruling the world today. Wherever the Christian Jewish world has not been able to influence our people and brainwash our people, our women don't behave like that. If you go to Afghanistan and see the Muslim women in Afghanistan. Go to many parts of Africa which have not as yet been touched by the white world order. And you'll see Muslim women who are not at all uncomfortable with plural marriages. Did the Prophet ﷺ shake hands with women? Come on, answer me. Did the Prophet ﷺ shake hands with women? No, he did not. No, he did not. We never did that in our history. Jazakallah. Men and women in Islam never shook hands. Never. Today, men and women in Islam are shaking hands. In Trinidad, they're worse than that. They're kissing. All over the place, they're kissing. Where did this come from? This came from the Christians and the Jews. When they started shaking hands, we follow them. As the Prophet prophesied, he said, even if they were to go down into the lizard's hole, you go down into the lizard's hole with them. And so we should not shake hands with women. Yes, they're going to feel offended, but it's better that they be offended than your Lord be offended. Allah put a beard on the face of the male. Did he? Yeah, I think he did it. Would you agree with me? that Allah put a beard on the face of the male? How are you so quiet? Why did He put a beard on the face of the male? So you can distinguish the male from the female from a distance, without having to look to any other part of the body. And men always wore their beards, always, all through history. It didn't matter which religion you belonged to, until when? Until the Jews and the Christians shaved it off. Which Jews and Christians? The one in the white world. And when they shaved it off, guess what happened? All of us shaved it off. Illa masha'Allah. And those who didn't shave it off, they kept an apology of a beard. The Prophet ﷺ followed instructions given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, permitting women to pray in the masjid. He said, do not prevent your women from coming to the masjid. A woman has a choice. She can either pray at home or she can pray in the masjid. She gets the same blessings. But for a man, he gets 27 times more if he comes to the masjid than he prays at home. Listen to the hadith and tell me, what are you going to do with this hadith? If you say that you follow the sunnah, then tell me, what are you going to do with this hadith? He said, أحسن الصفوف للرجال أولها وشرها آخرها. The best row for the men is the first, and the worst is the last. The one with the greatest danger is the last. Why? What danger is this? Centipede or scorpion? What danger is there for the last row? And he went on to say, أحسن الصفوف للنساء آخرها وشرها أولها. And the best row for the woman is the last. And the worst, the one with the greatest danger, is the first. Could anyone explain this to me? If you're listening to this tape or this CD, can you explain this to me? If you put the woman upstairs, well then why should she go in the last row? If you put the woman in an annex, well then why should she go in the last row? If you put a partition between the men and the women, well then why does she have to go to the last row? If you put up a partition, you should take this hadith and throw it in the garbage bin. Because the only way that this hadith makes sense, the only way that you can apply the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the only way, whether you like it or whether you don't, whether you're comfortable with it or you are not, it is irrelevant. Islam doesn't come from you. Islam comes from Allah and His Messenger. And the worst place to change Islam is in the masjid. Because you change it in the masjid, when you go there, you ain't getting no water. He ain't going to give you no water. He's going to say you change your religion. The worst place to change the religion is in the house of Allah. What this hadith tells us is that men and women prayed in the same space. It matters not. It is irrelevant whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Whether you're comfortable or you're uncomfortable with it, because Islam may come from you. You like the religion, keep it and accept it. You don't like it, you can leave it. But don't attempt to change it.